And this is going to be a emotional one, but with happy ending. Hope you will enjoy it. The weight of the grief hit Taehyung all at once as he sat in the quiet corner of the room. The dim light from the bedside lamp cast shadows on his walls, but it was nothing compared to the darkness suffocating his heart. His parents were gone forever. The thought was unbearable. Tears began to fall slightly at first, but soon turned into uncontrollable sobs that shook his entire body. He clenches the photo frame of his family, his fingers trembling as he traced the smiling faces. His parents, why did you leave me? Taehyung choked out, his voice cracked. I wasn't ready, I still need you. His chest felt tight as the memories flooded in his mind. The sound of his mother's laugh, the warmth of his father's embrace, the realization that he would never feel that again tore through him like a storm, wrapping his arm around his knees. They bruised his face, muffling his cries. He felt so small, so lost, so utterly alone. But even though the chaos on his pain, he whispered brokenly, I will try to be strong for you, but I don't know how. Nuance be over. Cold air and the winter night sends shiver down Taehyung's spine as he sat silently in the back seat of his uncle's car. His parents had died in the tragic car accident just days ago, and his world has crumbled into pieces, and now uncle and aunt, who had been kind enough to take him in, lived in a grand mansion on the outskirts of the city. Taehyung had never visited them before, but from what he heard, they were wealthy and powerful. However, their son Jungkook had a reputation that left even the bravest souls trembling. Jungkook was not just the heir of the family empire, but also the feared mafia boss who controlled the city's underworld ruthless, calculated. He was a man people obeyed without question, but when he stepped into the grand mansion, he was greeted with the warmth by his aunt, who hugged him tightly. His uncle patted his back gently, whispering words to comfort, but Taehyung's eyes wandered to the figure standing at the top of the grand staircase. Jungkook, dressed in all black, his sharp jawline, passionate dark eyes, and confident stare, radiant power. Jungkook gaze locked on Taehyung, studying every detail of the boy who had stood in his home. Taehyung, Jungkook called in deep, commanding voice. Having a chill in the air. Taehyung nodded weakly, not knowing that this was just the beginning of Jungkook's hold on him. Jungkook watched from the doorway and heart heavy with an emotion he couldn't name. Taehyung sat by the window, his gaze fixed on nothing. He once vibrant eyes, dull and empty. The boy who had once been so full of life, laughter and energy now looked like a hello shell of himself. It broke Jungkook to see Taehyung like this. He had always been in control, always knowing how to handle any situation, but Taehyung's sadness was something he couldn't fix. The pain Taehyung was carrying, and that made him feel powerless in a way he had never felt before. Every day, Jungkook silently watched over Taehyung. He made sure the food was warm, the blanket always there within reach, and that Taehyung was never left alone for too long. He would leave little notes for Taehyung to find some with comforting words, other with some small jokes, hoping they might break through the silence. But every time he tried to speak to Taehyung, he simply stared blankly, unable to, unwilling to respond. Jungkook didn't like the way his heart clenched when he saw Taehyung's sad face. To see him heal, but every time he tried to get closer, Taehyung pulled away, retreating further into the dark corner. Jungkook sat beside him one evening, his hand resting just inches from Taehyung's. He didn't say anything, just let the silence stretch between them. But deep down, he hoped that somehow, with time, Taehyung would feel the warmth he was offering. He would let him in. You don't have to be strong all the time, Taehyung. Jungkook whispered, his voice barely audible. Let me help you, please. But Taehyung remained silent, lost in his grief, unable to hear the unspoken promise of protection in Jungkook's words. Days turned into weeks and things slowly adjusted to his new life, but Jungkook was always there, watching, protecting, possessive. One evening, Taehyung was reading in the library when Jungkook walked in. His presence was overwhelming and Taehyung felt a lump form in his throat. Do you like it in here? Jungkook asked, sitting across from him. Taehyung nodded. Yes, everyone has been kind to me. Jungkook smiled, his gaze intense. Good, no one will dare harm you while you are under my roof. Taehyung looked down, fiddling with the corner of the book. Why do you care so much? Jungkook leaned closer, his voice dropping to a whisper. Because you're mine, Taehyung. Taehyung's breath changed, his eyes widened. What are you talking about? You will understand soon enough, Jungkook said, standing up and leaving the room, leaving Taehyung confused and flustered at the beat. A bit in night, Taehyung woke up from a dream, his body trembling and tears streaming down his face. He missed his parents so much that it physically hurt. He wandered down the hallway and found himself outside Jungkook's room, hesitating for a moment. He knocked lightly, the door opened and Jungkook stood there, his hair messy and eyes slightly softened. Taehyung, I had a bad dream, Taehyung whispered, his voice breaking. Without a word, Jungkook pulled him inside and closed the door. He guided Taehyung to sit on the bed and handed him a glass of water. Taehyung looked up, his eyes glossy. Why are you being so nice to me? Jungkook sighed, sitting beside him. Because I care about you. Taehyung's heart raced. But why? I'm just me. Jungkook cupped Taehyung's face gently, his thumb brushing Taehyung's lips quickened as he tried to process Jungkook's words. But I don't understand. You don't have to, Jungkook whispered, pulling Taehyung into his arms. Just know that I will always be here for you. Tae nodded his head and soon fell asleep in Jungkook's arms. Taehyung started smiling with Jungkook's efforts. A few weeks later, Jungkook surprised Taehyung by taking him to the mansion rooftop garden. The night sky was clear, started twinkling brightly above them. This is beautiful, Taehyung said, looking up at the sky. Jungkook watched him silently, his heart swelled with emotion he couldn't contain any longer. Taehyung turned to face him. Yes, I know I'm not the easiest person to be around. I am controlling, ruthless, and I have done things I'm not proud of. But you bring out the best in me, Jungkook said, his voice steady but full with emotion. Thanks as written, Jungkook. love you, Taehyung. Jungkook confessed, stepping closer. I have loved you since the day you walked into my life, and I know it's selfish, but I want you to be mine. Taehyung felt his heart skip a beat. Tears welled up in his eyes as he whispered, I don't know if I am ready for. Jungkook nodded, understanding. Take your time. I will wait for you as long as you need. Just promise me be you will let me protect you. Taehyung smiled through his tears, leaning into Jungkook's embarrassed, okay, I promise. Taehyung began to open his heart to Jungkook. The walls had built around himself slowly crumbled as Jungkook proved time and time again that his love was genuine. The once cold and ruthless Mafia. Now Jungkook was in his office, the loud crash of his soup bowl hitting the floor, echoing through the dining hall, followed by a sharp gasp from Taehyung. Taehyung pulled his hand back, flinching in pain as the scalding soup spread over his wrist. The maid trembled with fear, dropping on her knees, apologizing profusely. Before Taehyung could assure her it was fine, Jungkook stormed into the scene, almost running. His dark eyes were burned with fear as he glanced at Taehyung. How you dare to be so careless? Jungkook's voice boomed, causing the maid to flinch and tear up as a weapon was pointed at her. Do you even know what you have done? Jungkook, it's okay. Taehyung tried to interject, but Jungkook protected rage drawn him out. No, Taehyung, it's not okay. I'm gonna kill this freak. Jungkook snapped, turning his attention to the maid. You could have hurt him worse. How can you be so reckless? The maid sobbed, bowing her head repeatedly, scared for her life. And Taehyung Jungkook, please stop. I don't want you to hurt someone for me. Jungkook turned to Taehyung, his expression softened slightly as he saw the hurt in his eyes, not from the soul but from the scene unfolding. Let her go. It was an accident, Taehyung said softly, his voice steady but laced with emotion. Jungkook clenches his jaw but put his weapon away, clearly still fuming, but he nodded. Leave, he said coldly, and the maid, who quickly scurried away. As the room fell silent, Jungkook turned to Taehyung, his eyes filled with guilt. Are you okay? Show me your hand. Taehyung allowed him to take his wrist. He touched gently as he inspected the burn. It's not that bad, Taehyung whispered. Jungkook sighed deeply, his voice breaking as he muttered, I can't stand seeing you in pain, Taehyung. If it drives me crazy, I would do anything to keep you safe. Taehyung's heart fluttered. He could feel the sincerity and the depth in Jungkook's emotion in those words. You really care that much about me? Taehyung asked, his voice soft but curious. Jungkook looked into his eyes, his hand still holding Taehyung's. I don't just care, Taehyung. I love you. You are everything to me, and I am sorry if I have scared you so or pushed you too hard, but I can't help it. I want to protect you from everything, even if it means protecting you from myself. Taehyung's eyes welled up as he listened. His heart swelled with emotion he hadn't let himself feel until now. He smiled through the tears. I love you too, Jungkook. Jungkook's breath inches, his eyes widen in surprise. You do? Taehyung nodded, squeezing Jungkook's hand gently. I was scared to admit it, but now I know. I feel safe with you, Jungkook. I feel loved. Unable to hold back, Jungkook pulled Taehyung into a tight hug, embarrassed his leg bruising softly against Taehyung's temple. You don't know how much this means to me, he murmured. Taehyung leaned into him, feeling the warmth and security of Jungkook's arms. For the first time in the weeks, he felt like he wasn't alone anymore. Jungkook took Taehyung in his room to take care of his hurt hand and give him a love kiss over his lips. Then, okay, right now I don't know what to say because I don't have anything to say to you, and I also don't want to repeat the same thing again and again. That you know what? Okay, so I'm not gonna say anything. Just feel free to share your thoughts with me. Okay, see you again. Bye bye.